Hi, my name is Cian McCausland and I'm a physiotherapist at Croí. Today we will go through some exercises for people who have difficulty using one of their arms following a stroke. The purpose of these exercises is to improve the range of movement and control of your arm. Some of these exercises may be challenging and you may feel some resistance, especially if you have a high level of muscle tightness. What we do is encourage you to take your time and try your best. What we're about to cover today is a general program. If you feel any pain or discomfort during these exercises, please stop and consult a physiotherapist. You may benefit from a more tailored approach to rehabilitation. Let's get started. Okay, let's start with our warm-up. We're going to sit nice and tall in our chair, feet flat on the floor and nice and wide for a good base of support. With our affected arm, we're going to support it at the elbow and the forearm, and from here we're going to start our movements. We're going to bend our trunk one way and then the other way. Nice and slow, take your time. We're not rushing. When we do all these movements, we're just trying to get as much stretch as we can in every direction. And go left and right a few more times, and we'll change up the exercise. One last time. And we come back up to our sitting position. This time we're going to focus on turning our chest left and right. And it's going to look like this. Every time we turn, we keep our feet flat on the floor. And we turn our chest as much as we can to the left and then to the right. Making sure we keep our arm nice and supported and everything feels comfortable. It might feel a little bit easier to turn one way in comparison to the other side. That's really normal. Just move as much as you can through the movement. We'll go one last time. And we're going to come back into our sitting position again. This time we can relax the arms, we can hold them in our lap. And we're going to focus on our head and neck. We're going to tuck our chin, look towards the floor, and then looking up towards the ceiling. Again, very slow, not rushing. We might get a bit of a stretch through our neck as we look up and down. Do it a few more times. We're going to come back to our sitting position again. This time we're going to focus on turning our heads to the side. So ear is going to try to reach our shoulder. Left and then right. Left and then right. We're going to get a stretch to the side of our necks. Nice and slow, be really gentle, there's no rush. We're just trying to get everything warmed up and moving. A few more reps. We're going to come back into our sitting position one more time. This time we're going to focus on turning our head to the left and to the right. So we're going to look left and then back to the right. Again, nice and slow. Maybe a little bit more challenging on one side. It's really normal. Just get as much movement as you can. A few more times. Great. Let's move on to the next section. Okay, this next part will be focused on our shoulders. We're going to sit upright in our chair, feet flat on the floor, nice and wide. We're going to support our affected arm at the elbow and the forearm. What we're going to do is focus on bringing our shoulders up to our ears, back down again. Up and down. We're going to get as much movement, shrugging up, feel the muscles working, and then relaxing. Big squeeze, and then down. We're going to do this a few more times, get as much movement as we can. One last time. We're going to move to the next exercise. We're going to maintain the same position with our hands, but this time we're going to move our arms side to side. When we do this exercise, we're going to try to get as much movement with the affected arm as we can while supporting with the other. Forwards and backwards, just like cradling a baby. Nearly there. Make sure your arm is nice and supported. We'll do a few more reps. Back to the middle. We can relax our hands in our laps for this one. Again, we're going to focus on the shoulders. We're going to bring the shoulders forwards and backwards. Forwards and backwards. Making sure we sit nice and upright. As we bring the shoulders forwards and then retract them. Bring our shoulder blades together. We're going to do a few more reps and then we'll move on to our next exercise. Great. And then the next exercise, we're going to take our affected arm. We're going to use our hand to support at the elbow. And we're going to bring our hand up to the ceiling and back down again. Up and down. Again, we can do this nice and slow. Take your time. Really keep that arm supported. It's really about getting some nice quality motion through the arm. Nearly there. Do a few more reps. Super. And then we're going to go back to the first exercise that we did. So we are going to support our affected arm with the elbow and then bring the shoulders up and back down. Up and down. Big shrug and then relax. Make sure that you keep that arm nice and supported. Get as much movement through both shoulders as we can. We're going to do a few more reps before I move on to the next exercise. Super. Again, keep the arm supported and we're going to go sideways again. Left, right. Take your time, big reaches, nice gentle swing. Try to use both arms as much as you can. Keep going. Forwards and backwards. Let's rest our hands in our laps. Again, we're going to focus on the shoulders. We're going to bring our shoulders forwards and then pull them back. Big reach forward, squeeze back. Just get as much movement as we can through it. Take your time. Try to stay nice and relaxed. We're nearly there. And we're going to move on to our next exercise. Again, we're going to support the affected arm underneath at the elbow, bringing it up to the ceiling and back down again. Again, we're trying to get as much movement with the affected arm as we can while supporting with the other. Really solid work. Big reach up and down. We're going to do a couple more reps. One last one. and relax. Nice work. Okay, this next block of exercises will be focused on the elbow. What we're going to do with our affected arm, we're going to have our elbow resting on the table. The free hand will support at the wrist and hand. What we're going to do from this position, straighten out the arm and then back up to the shoulder. Nice and slow. There might be a little bit of resistance in the arm. Take your time. We're really not rushing. We're just trying to get as much movement through the arm as we can. Bending the elbow and then opening back up again. That's it. I'm going to do a couple more reps. And then next, what we're going to do, we're going to take our hands, we're going to interlock them, and we're going to reach across the table as much as we can, from left, middle, and then right. Really try to straighten the elbows out as much as you can. Try use both hands. And lean with your torso. Take your time. Big reaches. We're going to do a few more reps. And then we'll move on to our next exercise. This one will be focused purely on the affected side. The elbow is going to rest on the table and we're going to focus on turning our hand out and back. Out and back. It's like we're trying to draw a bit of an arc with our hand pivoting at the elbow. Again, take your time. It might be a little bit tricky to begin with, but we're just trying to get as much motion as we can through the joint. We're going to do a couple more reps, and then we're going to go back to the first exercise that we did. Last one. Again, elbow will rest on the table, supporting at the hand, straighten out to the table, and back. We're just trying to get as much movement through our elbow here. So straighten the arm out, bring it back to your shoulder. Nice and slow, get a little bit of a stretch. Be really gentle. A couple more reps, we're nearly there. And next, we're going to go back to this exercise, interlock the hands, reaching across the table, left, middle, and then right. Big reaches, take your time. We're trying to get as much movement through our arms and our torso as we go. Nice and slow, nearly there. That's it. We're going to do one more. Super. I'm going to come back to our upright position. We're going to do our last exercise one more time. We're going to have our elbow resting on the table. We're going to focus on our hand and turning it all the way out and then back. Drawing a big arc with our hand, pivoting at the elbow. Nice and slow. We're not rushing. We're just trying to get as much movement through the arm all the way out and back as we can. Nearly there. A couple more reps. One last one. There you go. Okay, the last section of this workout is going to be focused on the wrist and the fingers. The first exercise we're going to set up, we're going to have our forearm resting on the table. The focus is going to be opening the palm up to the ceiling and back down again. Nice and slow, take your time. If this is challenging, we can use a little bit of assistance from the other hand, where we place palm to palm, and then we open up and close down again. What we're really trying to do is get as much movement through the affected arm as we can, with a little bit of assistance from the other hand. Nice and slow, take your time. It's really about the quality of the movement as we do this. We're going to do a few more reps, and then we're going to change to the next exercise. And the next exercise is going to look like this. We're going to focus on a movement at the wrist, similar to this. The way we set this up, again, forearm will rest on the table. We're going to take the thumb of the other hand, place it inside the palm of the hand, and then bend the wrist forward and backwards. We're really trying to get as much movement through this hand as we can, with a little bit of assistance. Nice and slow. Take your time. Bending the wrist forwards and backwards. We're going to do a few more reps. Super. And the last one of these three, we focus on opening and closing the fingers. And we're going to have a very similar setup to what we were just doing. We're going to take the thumb inside the fingers, and then we're going to open up and back down again. Open up, straighten the fingers, and close them again. We're really trying to get as much movement and use of this arm as we can as we support with the opposite hand. Take your time. There might be a little bit of resistance. We can do this as slow as we need to. We're going to do this a few more times, and then we're going to go back to the first exercise that we did. Last one. Nice. We're going to go back and do our wrist turning exercise. So forearm will again rest on the table, and then we're going to open up the palm to the ceiling and back down again. Nice and slow. If we need to, we can go and support palm to palm, turning over. Take your time. We're just trying to give a little bit of assistance with the hand if we need to. We're going to do a couple more reps. Get a big stretch through the hand. Perfect. Then we're going to go to our wrist bending exercise. So again, forearm on the table, thumb inside the palm of the hand, open up the wrist, close it down. We're trying to get as much bending through the wrist as we can, forward and back. Nice and slow, big stretch. We're going to go for a couple more reps. And we're going to move again to our last exercise, focusing on opening and closing the fingers. So again, take a similar position as before, the thumb just inside the fingers. We're going to try open up our fingers, spread them nice and wide, and back. Open up the fingers, nice and straight, and back. Try to get as much movement from this hand as you can, and then assistance with the other hand. A couple more reps. Nearly there. Last few. And we're done. Good stuff.